নমস্কার। ব্রততী পরম্পরার আজকের আলাপচারিতায় বিশেষ অতিথি হিসেবে আমরা পেয়েছি প্রথিতযশা নৃত্যশিল্পী ও চিন্তাবিদ মল্লিকা সারাভাইকে। সম্প্রতি উনি কলকাতার লিটারেরি ফেস্টে আমন্ত্রিত ছিলেন। এই অনুষ্ঠানের অবসরে ওনার সাথে সাক্ষাৎকার গ্রহণ করেছেন আমাদের প্রতিনিধি। স্বনামধন্যা ভারতনাট্যম নৃত্যশিল্পী মৃণালিনী সারাভাই এবং ভারতীয় মহাকাশ বিজ্ঞান গবেষণার অন্যতম পুরোধা বিক্রম সারাভাইয়ের সুযোগ্যা কন্যা মল্লিকা সারাভাই শিল্পকলা, সমাজ সচেতনতা এবং মানবতা বিভিন্ন গুরুত্বপূর্ণ বিষয়ের উপর সুনির্দিষ্ট দৃষ্টিভঙ্গি পোষণ করেন। এই মননশীল আলোচনার মাধ্যমে তার অনেকটাই পরিচয় পাওয়া যাবে। আপনাদের জন্য রইল এই বিশেষ সাক্ষাৎকার।
Good morning, ma'am. Since when you are visiting first in Kolkata and where the place, other the place in West Bengal?
I have performed in Kolkata since the beginning of my career, which is 1977-78, and I have danced at all your festivals. I have danced at Rabindra Sangeet, Birla Girl, Dover Lane. I have done lots of fundraisings in Kolkata, and I love coming back here. I think Kolkata audiences have given me tremendous amounts of joy. I have not performed in the rest of Bengal. I have only performed in Kolkata. I have travelled in the rest of Bengal.
Right.
I have travelled where all the textile trades are and where your terracottas are, because I've always been interested in crafts, and so I've gone to look at weaving and terracottas. And of course Shantiniketan.
Shantiniketan, and you visit the place Bakura.
Yes.
Did you visit the place Sundarban Mangrove?
I have not. We've done a project there, but I had to send colleagues of mine.
Recent times there are some of natural calamities.
I know they are having a very rough time. I'm aware of
and the expertise says that in near future
they might sink.
Yes.
I keep abreast of that news.
So, do you thinking about I know that you are a natural activist and social activist also. So, do you think about to put this circumstance in the world view or nations?
I think the people who are concerned are aware about the issue of Sundarbans, and I'm sure there are enough activists here.
Yes.
Who are doing wonderful work in bringing it to people's knowledge. But the point is that we are at a stage in the world where just bringing it to people's knowledge is not enough. Each and every one of us and all our governments have to do something with great urgency. If we want to even stop 5 steps ahead from now, because thinking about it and talking about it, the time is past. We are in such danger. I mean, I was reading last week that the South Pole and the North Pole are 40 degrees hotter than in their normal March temperatures. 40 degrees is a lot. It means that probably the whole world will get flooded.
And what are the changes you have seen through these years by traveling to Kolkata or Bengal?
The city has changed a lot physically. I think I haven't been as much in touch with college students over the last 7 or 8 years as I used to be. I used to come to Jadavpur University very regularly and talk. I used to come to some of your schools and talk. So I don't know what the young of Calcutta are thinking, whether they are still as concerned about life as they used to be. But I would love to get to know them again.
And we are seeing in many political campaigns or etc. that you are from the Gujarat and Ahmedabad. They are saying that maintain the Gujarat model.
The Gujarat model is a mask. It's like somebody going to a beauty parlor when they have cancer inside. The Gujarat model has led to farmer suicides, entire families committing suicide, because with GST coming in and with the demonetization, most of Gujarat's employers, which were the small and micro industries, large industries don't employ so many people. It's the micro industries and the small industries, and Gujarat used to be the home of them. Hundreds of them have shut down. There's complete unemployment. There is so much anger, and yet we behave like sheep. we behave like sheep. I mean, it's as though we can't think beyond what is happening to us to actually demand that as citizens, we are not waiting for dole. As citizens, it is our right to demand from our government that you give us food, you give us the possibility of livelihood, you give us jobs, you give us education, you give us health. This is not some daan that you are doing. This is national. It's not only Gujarat. But the Gujarat model is held up, and now what is it that has happened? What is the India model just now? That the rich have become 200 times richer during the pandemic, and the middle class have slipped into the lower middle class, or the lower middle class have gone into poverty. That is the Gujarat model.
And by contrast, I like to inform you that in this Bengal, the microeconomic sectors are developing right now, like the Kuti Shilpo or the textile. You are telling me that it's textile.
Yes.
So, from where or by whom did you get your inspiration from the Bengal personalities?
Of what both Gurudev and Gandhiji said, that India will only genuinely develop if the villages develop, if the village crafts develop, if agriculture develops. Urbanization and the squalor that is our cities, and pushing more and more people into that squalor to live in awful conditions, is not the answer. I mean, people in the developed countries are moving out of the cities and into the suburbs. But we are such slaves that we only catch up about 40 years later when they've moved on to something else. This is our problem. We don't understand that in our history and philosophy, we have the possibility of sustainable growth, of sustainable living, of peaceful coexistence both with nature and with people. But no, we are so slavish that we want to build better roads. We will never build the best roads. There will always be somebody who's better. But the Indian sense of spirituality, not religion, spirituality, the Indian sense of moving inwards to find what is outside, all that is gone, and all that we are relearning. I mean, why is yoga and Ayurveda suddenly popular? Because the West found it popular.
Yes.
You know, we are still not independent in our heads. We still lick the West. And that's why, unless we go back into the villages, give them dignity, give them modernity. Don't bring them into squalor. Give them modernity without giving them the plastic culture, without giving them the throwaway culture. Bring them the best hospitals. But don't bring the squalor of medical waste with it.
In recent times, so we are passing by some unprecedented events like the COVID, so, and mindless war or the hegemonic beliefs that coming uprising their heads in. So what are I'll just ask you this question: what we should maintain in our mentality to improve these circumstances?
I think each of us who cares about humanity, who feels genuinely that all human beings and nature need to get respect and be treated as partners, each of us has to change first our own thinking to see what am I saying that is actually prejudicial? Did I just say this, and is that a gendered comment, or is that a comment against the minorities, or is this behavior against humanity? Because each of us are also part of society. We get brainwashed all the time. We have to fight that brainwashing. And then we need to become tiny agents of change. How am I bringing up my children? Am I bringing up my boy to be a boy and girl to be a girl? Or am I bringing them up in exactly the same way, to be human beings? Am I bringing them up to be Sikh or Parsi or Jewish or Hindu or Muslim? Or am I bringing them up to be human beings? If you change just your family, and if everybody else tries to change their family, to become more compassionate, to understand that life is not a race, and that you only want money to be able to do something. Money is not an end in itself. Money can give you the freedom to be good, because you are not threatened anymore. You don't have to fight for your next meal. But we forget that. We just go on looking at our bank balance, or whether I have my second car, my third car, my fourth car, my fifth holiday, and we forget what really is of value. So we need to go inside and find out really what is our value and whether I am being a compassionate, humane being who can bring light and life to one person a day. Then you're already making a change.
So coming to your art forms, I'm not so very much studied on the dance or
Why should you have?
but I'm studying I'm taking the poetry and recitation. So
I'm using lots of poetry in today's performance.
So did you read any Bengali poets?
Not in Bengali. Not in Bengali. As a child, I used Nazrul Islam.
So
lots and lots of Nazrul.
So you should know that this is the 100 years of Nazrul Islam poem Bidrohi. Bidrohi, by which he get his nickname, the Bidrohi Kavi Nazrul Islam. So do you think there is any connection to make recitations or the poetry recolonist to compile with the dancing art form?
I use a lot of poetry. Today I am using one poem by a Jamaican British writer, and I am using one poem by a Pakistani feminist writer. I am using in today's program rap. I have worked with the Tadom project who did Gully Boys, and 2 books. This piece is from a piece of mine that was directed by my artistic director Yadavan Chandran. It's called Colors of the Heart, and it's 5 performers and a British Pakistani singer lyricist called Samia Malik. And we were touring it when COVID stopped it. So I'm doing a piece from that called it's called Chup actually, and it's called Achhi Ladki. And I worked with the rapper MC Todford and Vivek of the Tadom project. So I'm using a lot of, and I'm working with the poetry of Momin. So this evening's program is lots of poetry, recited as well.
Selling you shoes and socks. Remember me? I am the one you hid behind a wall of stones while you roamed free as the breeze, not knowing that my voice cannot be hidden by stones.
थोड़ा एडजस्ट कर लो, जगह नहीं बैठने को सर को, फॉक करो त्याग तुम रहने दो, लड़की हो एडजस्ट कर लो, खाना बनाओ रखो साफ घर को, लड़कों की तुलना तुम खुद से करो, वो तो पढ़ेंगे बड़े स्कूल में, तुम अपने शिक्षा की ना चिंता करो, घर पे रहो पार्टी करो ना, मानो हर बात ना फालतू करो ना, एक जगह चुपचाप से सोना, लड़की रहो एडजस्ट कर लो ना, वॉशरूम बहुत दूर तो क्या डोंट स्ट्रेस कंट्रोल करो थोड़ा, खाने होगा लेट करो वेट बेटर होके वेट थोड़ा एडजस्ट कर लो ना, एडजस्ट कर लो,
when we going to next perform after this literary meet in Kolkata?
Whenever you call me.
Thank
Okay.
you, ma'am.
All right. Okay.